a great band. They are so talented. Let's give them a hand. Thank you, guys. Good morning, Unity of Boulder. Good morning. Let's sing about the love of God today and how we love God. Let's do that. So I'm going to introduce a song to you called Forever Love. It's a song about loving God. So we'd love for you to join in singing with it. So it's sort of a simple song, but if you can sing along in the chorus, and I'll kind of teach it to you, but you'll catch on. Okay? You are my forever love. 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 Let's sing that. You are my forever love. 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 From the bottom of my heart I'll sing to you. From the depths of who I am I love you. With everything inside I run to you. 'Cause everything I am I owe to you. You are my forever love. 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 From the bottom of my heart I'll sing to you. From the depths of who I am I love you. With everything inside I run to you. It's all that I've become I owe to you. You are my forever love. 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 Nothing in this world can ever separate us. I will love you more than anyone on earth. Nothing I desire would ever satisfy me the way that you do. From the bottom of my heart I'll sing to you. From the depths of who I am I love you. With everything inside I run to you. 'Cause all that I've become I owe to you. You are my forever love. You are my forever love. You are my forever love.
Okay, can we all stand up? Shake out some of the kinks. Turn to the person next to you and say, good morning. My name is so-and-so. That's good. This is the Unity community. Everybody here is friendly. All right. Okay, great.
Cell phone time.
Cell phone information time.
All right, so if you have your cell phone, if you could just make sure it's silenced. But first, if you could help us spread the joyful digital noise that's happening here by sharing this live stream on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube, whatever platform you prefer. If you have that ability, do that for us. Go to Unity of Boulder on any of those platforms and share this live stream. Let's help get that out there right now. And also, you can take pictures during the service. You can take notes with that. You can share those live if you want to do that as well. We really want to encourage you using this as a tool for spiritual growth. You've got it with you. You might as well turn it from the dark side to the light. So let's do that, all right? Okay.
All right, well, thank you. Listen, we want to thank all of those people tuning in on the live stream. We appreciate you adding your energy to this beautiful service that we're going to have today. I want to thank all of our Spanish-speaking friends for joining us as well and bringing their energy to bear right here. It's all about that, community energy, sharing in the reality that we're all interconnected, and that's how we change the world and make it work beautifully. Am I right?
That's what I've heard.
Okay, well, see, I'm going to tell a joke now.
That's the rumor going around.
You interrupted my joke last week.
I'll interrupt this week too.
Okay, but you better have the punchline.
Maybe that's the test. Can I figure out your punchline
This is
before
it.
you get there?
You ready?
Okay.
Okay, here it goes. Two guys are out walking their dogs and they meet on the street. One guy has a German Shepherd, the other guy has a Chihuahua. So they talk for a few minutes and the guy says, hey, let's go in and have a beer. And the guy said, well, right there, there's a sign on the window that says no dogs allowed. So the guy with the German Shepherd puts on dark glasses and walks into the bar and sits down, orders a drink, nobody says anything. The guy with the Chihuahua puts on dark glasses, walks into the bar with the Chihuahua. The bartender immediately says, hey, Mac, that Chihuahua is not allowed in here. He says, they gave me a Chihuahua?
Just imagine Jack sitting over in the back with a bathroom joke book, like, what's this
Okay,
Sunday?
so you didn't have the punchline for that.
No, I didn't. I was just hoping you wouldn't go in a weird direction, so we're all right.
Okay, people are allowed to take pictures, okay?
Yes.
Make sure you stay on this side.
Yeah.
Get these
That's
pictures.
going to be the funniest picture that hits the internet, so that's the one you want.
All
It's gonna
right,
get the most
yeah.
traction. All right, I'm going to jump into an announcement before Mike gets out here. My 90% class is coming up this Saturday, and whether you know it or not, when you wake up in the morning, you go to war. You go to war with your subconscious mind, which has been programmed by the society to live in a world of lack. And unless you learn how to fight this war and to work with this subconscious mind and steer it in a new direction, you're constantly at battle. That's why I designed this 7-week course to deal with this issue that we have, that we all have this embedded lack consciousness that has been programmed into us, and it's time to dig down in, figure out what's going on there, and reprogram that and get it out of the way so we can actually live the life we were meant to live. So I hope you sign up and join me for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very intense and very thought-provoking and transformational. Any other adjectives I could throw in there?
No, I gotta just say, he lives this stuff, because I remember him as he grew up. He's got it right.
There you go.
All right.
Welcome to Unity of Boulder. I just want to give a big shout out to Shad here. So we had to get new projectors immediately this week and rewire them all the way back up into that booth. And Shad pretty much did about 95% of it. So they wouldn't look this good if he didn't do a good job. So good work, Shad. Thank you very much. All right, we got a few real quick announcements here. One, Shad's class that he was talking about, you can sign up for that online or in the bookstore anytime. Just come see any one of us and we can set you up with that. Every Wednesday, Jack and Norma lead a midweek meditation service at 7 o'clock. If you haven't checked that out in a while, come on out. It's a great one. But just before that, starting at 5:30 to 6:30, we also have a Hatha yoga class led by our friend Francoise Netter. It's $15 for anyone to come drop in on anyone. So if you're looking for a midweek early evening yoga class, this could be the one. Today, we would like all of you to join us over at 3 Margaritas. It's a restaurant right over here at 28th and Iris. It's only about a minute away from here. Good average price Mexican food, and it's tasty. We're going to meet there at 1 for an all-church lunch, so come join the ministers and the staff here of Unity of Boulder, and just for a good, fun lunch. We always fill that place up. And last but not least, we are still very excited to announce we do still have some tickets for Marianne Williamson on February 21st at 7:30. The general admission tickets are $30, but there's also the option of getting VIP tickets, and that actually starts at 6:15, where we'll meet in a private room where you'll actually get a much more intimate setting where you actually get to meet Marianne and hang out with her for a little over an hour, and that'll be a neat little meet and greet. You also get premium seating up front, and I just realized this week, since that's before the regular event, you also get the added bonus of your pick of parking. Now, which, trust me, if you come here late on one of our Christmas or Easter shows, you know what I'm talking about. So that is all the announcements we have for this week.
Another song about our first love, returning to our first love, God. And so we'd like you to join in singing with us. We have all the lyrics up for everything. So if you would stand with us, let's get a little bit of juice flowing for the talk. And I just want to feel the presence lifting up from all of us. invite you all to ask for a prayer partner if you need one. And at the end of the service, the prayer partners, who, if you wouldn't mind standing so we know who you are here to guide you, help you, assist you, support you in prayer. Please feel free to just wait till it clears out and come to the front and ask any of these lovely ladies to sit with you. I would like to lead us in a prayer today. It's not an accident that we're all here together, here and now, in this profoundly beautiful planet and at this pivotal time in our evolution. We have all decided to come here and now, to guide and to be guided toward peace and harmony, toward understanding and love, to take a step into an unknown future with courage and love. We call upon the power of the realm of angels, ascended beings, and the essence of the one Creator, lover of the universes. We are brothers and sisters in Christ and all of the ascended masters. And our heart's resonance is your resonance. Let us imagine an all-encompassing, healing, unconditional, perfect love filling every cell of your being. Breathe into the love that is ours, filling us up. The acceptance, the connection that is here for you and I and us now. Allow this to gently drift into your awareness and let the presence of light and love fill you up from your toes to your head. And we pray, Mother, Father, God, Creator, Lover of the universes, hear our prayer. Show me how to open to your loving presence in my life, in my body that is a temple of your light and your love. Every breath I take connects me to love. Loving presence, I am always connected to the all that is. I am an integral and unique part of all that is. Show me how I can take my part in the evolution and fill my whole being with your love, power, and courage. May I feel my connection to love always. May I have courage to live and work in your light always. May I hear your guidance, supporting and loving me every day in my life. And remembering that we always are connected to love every breath we take. Amen.
Jalaluddin Rumi reveals a great secret in the following lines. When I run after
Welcome to Unity today. I want to thank Rebecca for that incredible prayer that she gave, and our wonderful band and singers are just amazing, just so connected to what my message is, and they don't ever know what it is, but it's like I'm listening to music, and it's like exact. So today is the 4th talk of a 5-talk series called Spirit Never Stops Working for Us. This series is about the ultimate 2020 consciousness challenge. This series is on creating a clear plan and setting goals for long-term success in healing relationships, finances, more harmony, more joy and happiness, for planting a strong foundation for an awakened 2020. So today I'm going to be talking about divine nature, whether we are dancing and being within that miracle-led life, or are we giving our life force energy away? Too often we are giving our energy to places that bring stress, panic, anxiety, not because we want to, but somehow we have become more familiar with dis-ease than with conscious, proactive choice-making. My intention for today's service is to inspire you to get really honest with yourselves and look where you are giving up your power as a co-creator with God and reclaiming your distracted mind, your distracted body, and spiritual energy for waking your attention and intention to a more sustainable, lovable, free-flowing place for true life. Spirit never stops working. Even if we believe that things aren't shaping up the way we prayed it would, we have to get our beingness into right action. Spirit is always working for us. So I got inspired to write this sermon this week because I was listening to YouTubes, and I play Christian music, which is very, Christian, and I really don't consider myself a Christian, but I do love the music that channels through some of these artists because it just evokes such a sense of connection to spirit, and I can bring the unity message, the Buddhist message, the Hindu message, the things that connect me to God, and the words, it's really the melodic feeling of them that lifts me and writes the sermons through me. And the song was about how God is always working for us, no matter how our life looks on the outside, no matter how hard things are in our lives, whatever challenges that are showing up, or in our workplace, or our marriages, or whatever, that if we could let go and surrender and just trust that God is always working for us, then we would get out of our own way, kind of redirect our attention and recognize that we're not alone in the challenges of the world, and that there is something greater at hand that is always waiting for our attention to let go and let Spirit take over. It's easy to slip into the negativity of the world. If you turn on the TV for 1 second, it is really easy to be just swiped away into an abyss of negativity and darkness, and some of it is real, especially when it comes to our environments and other things, depending on what your opinions are. But most importantly, I realized after a few conversations this week with some people that came in to share some stuff, they wanted to share with me the planetary positions that are creating all the chaos in the world right now. And that these are the darkest times, and things are showing up, and we're all being evoked emotionally and being pulled into this negativity, and so therefore our lives are rearing its head to bring chaos and disorder and anxiety and all these things. And it's almost as if like our good was behind us, and yet, we all know, hopefully, that it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Things have to evoke. The darkness is bringing the truth out from underneath hidden places for the light to dawn. And so if we start to believe in this outer experience that the planetary solar system is doing this and that to create this chaos, and don't recognize that there's something divine in that too, that everything is in divine nature. But if we start to just look to the darkness and start to play small in that and add to the aggravation and the ugliness of the world, how are we going to really bring this dawn of this second coming of Christ, this idea that a new consciousness is coming, which is the unity view. It's not some distant man that's going to show up and fix all the messes that people made. It's the second coming of a new consciousness, a new belief system, where light and spirit-led lives are more important than the grasping for more money, the grasping for more greed, the grasping for more lying, and the things that are the things that are keeping us from living from a compass of authenticity and truth. But when we walk around unhealed beings, we are adding to the hardships of this world, and vibrationally we're adding to that current. And so that's why we sit in church. That's why we go to our spiritual centers. That's why we go to satsangs or whatever, to remember the divine nature in us, so that we also remember that each day we do our practice and we align ourselves with the highest consciousness that's within us. And every day that we do that, each day we're higher and higher in consciousness, and we're more and more conduits of God's light that is being called to be dawned on this planet Earth and in this world. Rumi said, "When I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of distress and anxiety. If I sit in my own place of patience, what I need flows to me, and without any pain. From this, I understand that what I want also wants me, is looking for me and attracting me. There's a great secret in this for anyone who can grasp it." Let's just sit with that for a second. To start the day without the anxiousness towards all of the obligations that we're holding in our lives. Many of us are pulling off 3 days worth of responsibilities in one day, and then we wonder why we're feeling so anxious, so depressed, so disconnected. And that's the pace of this fearful world right now. That's a sign that we're signing up, that we're a part of that darkness, that end days, versus being the conduits for the change we want to see in this world. And so when we're walking around anxious, sharing our dark stories with everybody, excusing the fact that we're not speaking to the power in ourselves and only speaking to the limitations, that you're not doing your practice. Because the person that's doing the practice doesn't talk so much. The person that's doing the practice is sitting with spirit, understanding that which is needed of you is coming to you, healing you, bringing you back into balance. And this is an incredible manifesting time, because the yin and the yang is so clear. It's one or the other. There's not really one going like this, but this is what we've got to get it to here. So we just got to become light. Michael Beckwith says in Spiritual Liberation, "You are an adventurer in consciousness, just as we meet different aspects of ourselves. When we travel to a country or state that is new to us, so do we discover different dimensions of ourselves when we enter new terrain within consciousness. Declare that you are an adventurer in consciousness, traversing this three-dimensional realm to behold the wonders of creation. Then you will no longer be a passive tourist in your life. Search yourself and see how you move in the world. Do you delay or deny good in your life because you believe that an outer condition must first change? Have you put your life on pause while you wait for outer circumstances to shift before you become an adventurer, an explorer in consciousness? The world won't be any different once you press the play button if there is no corresponding change in your consciousness. The world won't be any different once you press the play button if there is no corresponding change in your consciousness." So I was speaking with someone this week that was talking about all these hardships that was going on and comparing it to the world and the circumstances of the world. And I shared with this person my truth, that when I'm sitting and I wasn't in an actual hired counseling session. This is just the kind of fun conversations I have during the week, where it's just like, blah. Now what are you going to say to fix it kind of thing? He said, well, what do you think about it? And I said, well, I didn't listen to a word you just said. Because I am holding a space of light. That is what my calling in life is. And I could see where this was going, and I knew he needed to say it. But I was saying cancel, 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 cancel the whole time this person is talking. Because it's very, very hard to stay in the light right now. I will say that. You prayer up, you meditate up, I do my Nia, I do my running, I do all my stuff. But it's easy. If everybody wants to share their negativity, eventually, I've got enough negativity in my life that I could believe in, and I can really connect with someone else's negativity. And so, in order for me to be the best version of myself and in my career and what I've been called to be, I don't listen to people's symptoms of their illnesses. I don't listen to, I'm sitting there, I'm letting them say their things, but I am cancel, 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 and blessing them, blessing, knowing God is taking care of this. There's no one person that can heal another person with just saying something to them. Really, in the presence of another person, just mirroring back the power that lives within them will heal them. But we have to protect our hearts and our beings and our souls from being afflicted from people's negativity. There's really great tools like cancel, 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 cancel. I bless you, I bless you. I see God coming in and taking care of you and lifting you out of this hard time. So we have to observe how we are merging each day into life. Are you waking up to an alarm with anxiety, contemplating you were going to pull 3 days' work off in just one day? Or are you stuck in a state and pattern reacting to circumstances from your glass feeling half full, lashing out at others, feeling overwhelmed, decreeing poverty, illness, brokenness to yourself and others? Some people wake up that way. They wake up anxious. They wake up nervous because they're not starting their night sleep with an affirmation of, thank you, God, for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever. And I want to be inspired tomorrow. I want to wake up with all my full life force. And I want to feel guided and directed to get to my exercise and get to my meditation, and I don't want my phone to ring, so that I will show up for myself first. And then in turn, I'm showing up for God first. And watch how you wake up that morning, refreshed, ready, and the phone doesn't ring. It's calling into the universe that which you really want, that which you know is your birthright. But in our laziness, we're meeting with darkness and the dysfunction of this world so much that we're forgetting that we are very much co-creators with God. In Wild Mercy, which is the book the women's group is studying right now, it says it this way. When you were a child, you knew yourself to be co-creator of the universe. But little by little, you forgot who you were. When you were a child, everything was about color. Now you pick black as your automatic font color, because that is the coin of the realm. When you were a child, you made up songs. You don't sing much anymore, you lecture, or you yell, or you keep a safe silence. When you were a child, you traveled from place to place by dancing, and now you cultivate stillness, which is great, but you're forgetting how to move to the music of your soul. You can hardly even hear the inner music over the clamor of all your obligations. You can hardly hear the music over the clamor of all your obligations. I have this memory as a little girl. Growing up, my father was a minister, so I've been in church all my life in Unity. And there's this particular family that was especially poor, and their family's going through a divorce. And my parents sent my brother, Shad, and I to play with these kids, kind of not just really to be friends with them, but we got to see the hardship of a single mom with 4 children living in a low-income home, and a woman that looked so beyond burdened, it was unbelievable, you know. And it was kind of, I think, my parents' sort of our way to help those kids feel happiness while things were difficult. But it was shocking how out of disorder this house was, and the feeling of it, and the upset in this mother. And one day I was there, and the mother was down in the basement, and there's like a window that looked out over other low-income houses in Boulder, and she was just moaning this cry out the window. And I remember just standing at the stairs, like looking at her back, and just, I could feel it in the very core of my being, the absolute fear and aloneness and terror she felt, to be left with the burden of the responsibility of a family that she had been probably promised that she'd be doing this with somebody else. And now it was all on her, without a career, without a college education. And I didn't know all that. It just, the sound of her voice, it sparked this wonder, this curiosity in me of like, what would ever cause somebody to be that hurt or that sad or that scared? And this moment struck a chord deep inside my soul that day. I know now that it was a co-creative spiritual seed planted for my soul's journey that wanted to learn how to help people in those moments when they felt so alone, felt so helpless and unseen. At that point, I had no idea what it meant, but through my spiritual journey, way before I felt the call to ministry, Spirit was grooming me to witness that not everything is easy about life, that there are very difficult things that happen that will get you to your knees, and God shows up a lot of times through people lifting other people up from their knees and guiding them back to the original light that they are. That was the first spark that there is something I'm supposed to be doing here. Of course, I had to grow up and meet my own pain when life hit me so hard over and over again, finding myself at one point moaning and crying and hearing the same sense of loss and not knowing where to go, and merging with the sound of that voice, this chord of pain, this grief, this loss, that this expectation of the life that I thought I was going to have had been pulled out from underneath me more than one time. And I think that that was a way shower to say, even if you are a meditating person, even if you are a spiritual being, bad things do happen to good people. And the truth is that I have learned more from the darkest days of my life than I ever did from the joyful days. That honesty with the grief cracks us open and pours the light into the unseen places of self so we may learn and know thyself. So that we may know God when we know thyself. Later on, I learned about Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin, she is the bodhisattva of compassion, the embodiment of loving kindness, the personification of mercy. She who hears the cries of the world, she who sees the wounds of the world. She is the incarnation of the Buddha of compassion, who had the option of merging into the boundless ocean of nirvana and chose instead to return to the wheel of samsara, which is births, deaths, rebirths. In feminine form as Kuan Yin, to comfort and awaken all beings until every being is free from suffering. Births, deaths, and rebirths is absolutely what this calling is that I hold. And when I started to read more about Kuan Yin, I felt so much more connected to the divine feminine in me. You know, people always compare my sermons to Shad's or Jack's. And sometimes they're saying it would be better if it was more like Jack's or Shad's or vice versa. And I always say, I can never be Shad. I can never be Jack. I can only be the best version of Syntysche that exists. I love it when other people say to other people, I want to be you when I grow up. You know how kids say that? I want to be you when I grow up. The greatest affirmation that you could ever recognize is that you want to be you when you grow up. There's nothing greater than you as an individual. You are unique. You are special. You are a child of God. You are made in God's image. You have some perfect and amazing work to do in this world, each and every one of you. But it's stepping aside from stepping into this fast-paced world of anxiety attacks and doing too much and not being with what is. So Kuan Yin had the choice to join Nirvana or stay in the work of healing people's lives. And the truth is Kuan Yin's not different than us. Nirvana is not some separate place, some distant heaven or hell that we're going to go to because of good deeds. Nirvana is the heaven in the very midst of us here. And we really do experience the highest and the greatest joys in our lives from the taking care of one another, being present with one another, listening to another, having someone listen to us when we are in need of those difficult times. Believe me, there are pieces to this work that are not fun, but it's part of it. I am not a fan of tragic loss. It has not been easy witnessing loved ones and parishioners suffering from terrible illnesses, people going through unthinkable things, trapping them in the clutches of despair until they find their way back to light. And sometimes they don't. But I embrace all that is life-affirming, which is art, health food, dancing, connecting with nature, community. But with this kind of messaging that pathologizes death and loss, of course, many of us are going to mistake the fire of grief or longing for what we cannot have or can no longer have for problems to be resolved rather than an evidence of our holy membership in the human condition and an invitation to spiritual transformation. I mean the opposite of rising above the realities of the world. Rather, it's about becoming so fully present that the line between sacred and ordinary is obliterated. And the face of the beloved shines from every face, human, bees, juniper trees, deer, lakes, ducks, frogs, birds. That the grief is part of the life, too. And a lot of times the law of attraction with this sermon, this talk series is about the law of attraction. But we can think and we can hold a space for what are we energetically bringing into the world so that we bring back more of that to us. But there are times of soul growth. Edgar Cayce says, the soul is here to grow. We've lived many, many lifetimes. Eventually, we do learn how to access other lifetimes from our Akashic records through meditation and connection and walking in nature. And every once in a while, you just get this hit of what you need to do. And it's because probably your soul's done it before, and you don't have to go through all the muck this time to find the evolution to go to the next level, to go to the next level, to the next level. But you can't run from it. Grief and despair is supposed to be witnessed in order to clean out the unseen, the unfelt things, so they no longer have a lifeline in us that takes our beauty and joy away from us. And so it's really powerful what you learn when you learn to lean into your truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You learn to appreciate everything when you've gone through those dark days. You learn to look for the light everywhere that you can. That's what I said to this person that came to me this week. Why do you want to show me all the darkness that you've seen all this week, and yet you aren't making it everything to be looking for the light everywhere you can? Because the more you start seeking the light is going to seek you. It's lazy to be decreeing to the darkness of this world. That's what everybody else is doing. It's enlightening to hold yourself accountable as a spiritual being, to speak of light to others. Even if you have things that you're afraid of, you're healing that with you and God. That is nobody else's business. That's yours. That's your soul journey. Remember, we enter this world alone, and we leave it alone with God. That's the one companion that never leaves us. So I've learned through the years from these deep cuts in my life and witnessing the deep cuts in others that our vulnerability is our strength. Your tears are power. Our capacity to forgive is our superpower. Every wisdom tradition on the planet emphasizes that compassion is the quintessential knowing of the holy. In Nia dance classes that we hold here, we usually make an intention for the dance class. Sometimes it's feeling pleasure in our bodies. That's one of the big ones. If any of the dance moves don't feel like pleasure, then don't do them. Right? And I love that idea of, if you really looked at your life and said, does that feel pleasureful? Does this craziness feel pleasureful? Think of the word pleasure. Doesn't it just feel good just to say that word and to feel the sense of pleasure? It's usually seen as a sexual thing. But really, it's a soft suppleness. It's the vulnerability. It's the beautiful. It's the authentic. Pleasure in the body, to connect with the body. Where am I in this now body? That's a question we always ask in Nia. Not your 20-year-old body that most people go to exercise to try to regain, right? But to feel your now body and let her or him speak to you about what is being called for your now body, and not pushing it to be a body that it no longer is, but to be the best body it can be. And I'm not saying physically pretty. I'm saying in the pleasure, in the feeling of this body. And you follow that same course with your thoughts. Where's the pleasure in these thoughts? Where is the softness? Where is the compassion? Where is the love in these thoughts? Are these thoughts empowering me? Or are they disabling me to step into that which I've been put here to do and be? And then there's your soul. The best place to visit that soul of yours is in your dreams. Like I said, setting yourself up with an affirmation. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, that my marriage is whole. Thank you, God, that my daughter is feeling my love. Whatever it is that you might be worried about, you put it with God and let a visual appear for you to know what to do next. But then we get an intention in Nia, and it's the pointer finger. So like your pointer finger, fingers are very important, Nia. This is your pointer finger. You literally look at what you want. not just with your eyes, but you're getting out of your eyes, because we're very tunnel vision. What we're doing is we're looking at what we want, and then we're opening the spectrum of what we want, right? If you do this, this spectrum now is opening you up like children look, because you know children are like this. Children are always like this, but we're just like this, right? Whereas children are just like, yeah, yeah, check it out, look at that, oh my God. And we love laughing at them, and yet we're laughing because we remember ourselves like that. We used to wake up excited. I can't wait to see what's going to happen today. I can't. You know, kids are always like, every day's a party. Every day is the party. So, one of the greatest debilitating things that we have is fear and self-doubt. That's what keeps us from living this incredibly connected life with God. Because fear and self-doubt is made of the intellect. Fear and self-doubt is stories from your past that your parents said you had to have this college degree, or you should have done this, or you should have done that, and you didn't do it, and your life isn't working out, and so you're sure they were right, and so now you're wrong, and now you're living a life in an abyss of a desert that you don't know what to do because you should have listened to someone else. But fear and doubt is really just us repeating, reciprocating something that no longer serves us, that doesn't need to have a life form in us any longer. Fear is a thought that you can change something in the future and you're not living in the moment. Or you're still looking backwards for the answers when the answers are right here. That Rumi poem is saying, sitting in the presence without any expectations, you'll recognize that your miracles are looking for you. It's so much easier than doing 3 days worth of work in one day, isn't it? Panicking that you've overscheduled yourself and you're showing up late everywhere. In Love Without Conditions, Paul Farini says, most of what you try to do for yourself will not succeed because you do not know who you really are. Your self-image is limited. You do not know or feel the extent of God's love for you. You think that somewhere along the line, something in you got broken, or perhaps you are just missing some parts. But that isn't true. You have no missing or broken parts. All of your wholeness is fully present right now. So with that said, what story are you telling yourself and others that is not in alignment with that? Let's just sit with that for a second. That past breakup, that past abuse, that past longing, all those things that you're sharing with everybody as if it's still alive today. In the Course in Miracles, they say it's an illusion. It's the past. The past is illusion. Did you know that when you tell a story of the past, of your brokenness or any story, that the mind cannot remember it exactly right? And so you always add more danger, more fear, more self-doubt to the story every single time you teach it, tell it. So that story, after 10, 20 years, is total BS. There's some truth in it, but it certainly isn't the original break. What if you could walk out of here today no longer aligned in your illusioned brokenness? I want to share a video with you that Marianne Williamson wrote.
when we leave here and leave the illusion of our traumas behind, we can become spiritual mentors for others. A mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within another than you see in yourselves. You let them see who they truly are from you finding that truth in you. Think of the mentors that have said wonderful things to you through your life. Let those be the things that affirm your future and your presence. I used to, in ministry, in the beginning, people were very critical in the beginning about how I spoke and shared messages and things like that, and I could get 20 compliments, but the one disapproval from someone would sit with me for weeks and just grate on me. I don't know what that is about the human condition, but there's so many people that have blown such beautiful wisdom into our lives. Why don't we focus on that than focusing on the things that hurt us? And remember that to see yourself the way that God sees you, perfect, whole, healed, divinely loved, divinely guided. We'll take an offering for unity now.
Thank you, Syntysche, for that powerful and inspirational talk. You probably saw in your bulletin that we are trying to raise the funds to cover the cost that we had to put out for these projectors, which does not include my time, so I threw that in there for free, so you're welcome. But you noticed how bright and beautiful they are and how sharp they are, and you can actually read them from the back of the room, so that's a very nice thing. So if you are able to give a little bit above and beyond what you normally give to put towards that, we're about $500 in towards our goal of about $2,500 to cover the cost of those. We appreciate that. All right, so as we take our offerings into our hands, let's just sort of take a moment to pool the energy of this experience, of this building, of everyone in this room into the palm of our hands, of whether our offering is physical or digital. Let's recognize that there's power on that. We need to bless this offering. If we can have our offering statement come up so we can read this together. There it is. If you'll say it with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive because I give. Thank you.
While the offering's finishing up there, I'd just like to preface this song here I'm going to sing is called Oil. I know you all came here to be uplifted, and in a way, this song will do that. But in a way, it's going to make us think about things that maybe we don't want to think about every day. One of Shad's talks last Saturday, or a few Saturdays ago maybe, was expressing the importance of us doing our inner work, showing up as you all have today, and continue to show up in your spiritual selves, and doing your work is the biggest impact that you have on humanity as a whole, and us being able to rise out of this fear and hateful fighting that's been going on. The song is a song that was originally written when we first went into war with Mr. George Bush as our leader in Afghanistan. And it's an ode to all of the troops who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Unfortunately, it's still really relevant today. And so I feel as if recognizing that we do have the power to make a change, and it's not by political activism, and it's not by all of these things which we pour ourselves into all the time. It's through finding that godlike heart in yourself. So I'd like you to focus on that as we dive into some emotional music here. Can you hear that?
It seems your luck has changed, and now it's too late to carry him home. Maybe someday you can explain what his father has done for his country. Wouldn't it be nice not to lie when you told him he died for his freedom? How do you tell a child that his father has died for no reason? And now it's too late to carry him home. She waits quietly by the phone for his call. She gasps for life when she hears his hollow voice. But how do you tell a loving wife she'll have to raise this poor child on her own? And how do you tell a widowed mother, I'm sorry dear you lost another? And how can you sleep at night when you know her teary eyes will see the sunrise? Yeah. And what about you insatiable liar? You crash and you burn with his fire. And all the while, well, your conscience is free of cares. And now it's too late to carry them home. Maybe someday you can explain what his father has done for his country. Seems luck has changed, and now it's too late to carry him home.